Hey YouTube, what's up? Sherwayne here, and I'm back with another video. You can call it vlog if you will. And as you can see in the description, I'll be talking about why I made the switch from using FL Studio and now using Pro Tools. 12, I think it's 12.5 to be specific, and it's also 12.5 in FL Studio. So before I jump into all of that, I want you to first give me a thumbs up on this video. We want to reach 5,000 well, that's a good mark. 5,000 likes. I was gonna say 500, but hit the like button, you know, right now, as your contribution to the channel. When you give the video likes on YouTube, it helps with the growth and the promotion of the channel by YouTube. So please give this video a like. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe. See, now I've been using FL Studio for the past 11 years. I've started using it from 2010 thereabout. So I'm solidified in using FL Studio. I think I know everything that needs to be known about FL Studio. I build my instrumental in FL Studio. I mix, I master my in FL Studio, both songs and instrumental. That's where I mix and master my stuff. So I've been using it for that amount of years, long time. Now, why in 2021 I have made the switch? First and foremost, before I get into that, all of my friends who use that D.A.W, you know, they always encourage me to use it. And I was saying to myself that if some of these brethren are asking me to use a D.A.W and yet asking me how do I mix my music, causing it to sound like that, and they themselves is using Pro Tools, I was always, you know, discombobulated in my mind about that. Because if you're saying that is such a good and great D.A.W, which is D.A.W means digital audio workstation, you're saying that is the best D.A.W, why should I then leave my FL Studio and then use your best D.A.W, and yet still you're nitpicking and asking me, you know, how do I mix and master to make it sound like that? And you are mixing FLs in a Pro Tools and your thing no sound like how you want it. So I was really confused to why I should make the switch. However, last year 2020 I started to record in Pro Tools. In Pro Tools. And the reason why is because I recognized that FL Studio was giving some trouble. It usually crashed in the middle of recording, and not only that, there was this sound that was coming in, bleeding in, that I didn't know how to solve. So that's why I considered recording in Pro Tools. And I recognize when recording in Pro Tools, the audio itself, it come out more richer. So I was saying, whoa, I'm gonna continue to use this. No, the reason why I never fully went with Pro Tools regarding mixing and mastering is because I didn't understand the whole routing of auxiliary, how you set up bus and all those things. So I went to a studio recently, to a young man's studio, in a new studio and all that. He asked me to come in and, you know what I mean, give some professional help and so forth. So I went there, you know, set up a few things and teach a few things, you know. But during that time there, I recognized that they were using Pro Tools, you know, for mixing and mastering. And some question was asked of me that I could not give an answer to. So I went home that night and I said to myself that I need to know this D.A.W. I need to be able to help these passionate young producers and artists, you know, to the best of my ability. It doesn't make sense, you know, me say me the audio engineer and don't know how to operate a particular D.A.W. So I went home, did my research. I downloaded about 3 to 4 videos on Pro Tools regarding routing, because I can mix and master already, you know. So all I wanted to know is, how do I set up these auxiliary tracks and master faders and so forth? How do I go about getting these things? How do I send signal from here to there? So after watching about 2 to 3 videos on YouTube, I download them from YouTube because I didn't want to be on YouTube and was distracted and so forth. So I download them and I sat down and I watched them, sat down and I watched them, sat down and I watched them, and then I open up Pro Tools and make an attempt to do what they were doing, trying to execute what they were doing. And then I said, you know what, I'm gonna go to my bed, and tomorrow I pick up at this again. The whole night Pro Tools in my mind is like my body was asleep but my mind was active. The whole night I was thinking about the routing system until I woke up the morning. When I woke up, did what I had to do and just jump into Pro Tools and try apply all that I have learned the night. And I did a demo recording and then attempt the routing that I've learned, how you set up the bus and so forth, and then applied all of the knowledge and wisdom and understanding that I had previously with FL Studio and applied it in Pro Tools, and the result that I got was phenomenal. It was so rich, it was so flush, it was so it just sound good. And what strike me is that this is just a demo recording and not a professional one, and it sounds so good. I noticed that the DAW itself, it makes the sound more richer, it makes the plugin sound more richer. And I believe persons who are making plugins, when they are making their plugins and even test running it, they use Pro Tools or one of those other, either Logic or Pro Tools they use when doing these things. That's why the plugins, they run so smoothly, effectively in Pro Tools. So that's the main reason why I switch from mixing in FL Studio and now in Pro Tools, because the sound sounds way better. It might be difficult regarding the routing of tracks and certain little shortcuts, but the final product, when you finish mix and master in Pro Tools, it sounds way better, it sounds great. So I used to hold to the philosophy that it's the person behind the D.A.W. No, some D.A.W. sounds way better if you do the right thing. If you do the right thing, you will achieve a better mix in Pro Tools opposed to FL Studio. I use FL Studio nonetheless for making instrumental. That's my go-to plugin. I love my FL Studio. It has served me well. It has helped me to understand a lot about mixing and mastering. So if you're a young producer, you can probably start off with that, but I would encourage you to at least know a bit about Pro Tools. And if you want any help, I am available. I am now doing consultation. I am now doing Zoom classes. So if you need classes, you can just, you know what I mean, hit me up in the comment section, and or probably DM me. The link for my Instagram will be in the description, you know, so you can link me if you need classes and so forth, or any more in-depth understanding about the D.A.W. So that's my reason for moving from FL Studio to Pro Tools. And let me tell you, man, I have some new music to drop that I use and mix, that I use Pro Tools to mix, and it sounds way better. You're gonna hear them soon on the channel, so just stay tuned. I'm working on my album, so just stay tuned. It's called The Winning Team, so just stay tuned for more and awesome content, you know. So that's my reason for leaving not Pro Tools, FL Studio. I'm still new to Pro Tools, so forgive me if, you know, it don't come out of my mouth or roll off the tip of my tongue. But that's my reason for leaving FL Studio to Pro Tools. Pro Tools is the best. FL Studio is great for making instrumental, but Pro Tools best for do your work there. See, and all of those who have been telling me that I should move, I know you're going to go crazy in the comment section. But yeah man, have your laugh now. We finally move. Have you know? Bless up, stay blessed, stay safe. See?